In Israel, the IDF opposes the idea, as do hostage families. The fear is that an attempt to temporarily control Gaza will be a quagmire from which it will be impossible for the Jewish state to extricate itself. There's also the fear that instead of rescuing hostages still alive, it will sentence them to death. Even greater than opposition within Israel is the outcry of many nations, built on the foundation of false narratives against Jerusalem, narratives declaring genocide and deliberate starvation. Even Israeli allies are forming up against the Jewish state. One of its closest allies, Germany, has declared a moratorium of all weapons sales to Israel. And so far, 6 nations have declared their intent to recognize, quote-unquote, Palestine as a state at the United Nations General Assembly in September. Those nations include France, the United Kingdom, Canada, Malta, Australia, and New Zealand. And more may be joining them. The most alarming global development, however, is an almost instant eruption of anti-Semitism. Suddenly, from every side in every quadrant of the world, there are volcanic-like eruptions spewing anti-Semitic hatred of Israel, which automatically includes all Jews in every nation. Those eruptions are occurring in political realms, social realms, academic realms, business realms, publishing realms, and religious realms, including the realm of evangelical Christianity. In fact, it is virtually impossible to avoid these eruptions. There literally are no safe zones, no shelters from them. Why aren't we safe? Before erupting like a volcano, anti-Semitism's hidden tubes of toxic lava are almost invisibly burrowing into hearts and minds in news reports, op-eds, movies, television shows, social media dialogues, books, entertainment, and even sermons. It tunnels into our lives in forms of a reasonable, earnest tone, in banter with friends, in expressions of concern, and declarations of moral intent. It comes from politicians, movie stars, commentators, musicians, from friends, trusted advisors, and religious leaders. Not only are these insertions of anti-Semitism dangerous because they are hidden, they're also insidious because they come from within our social circles, within our places of work, within our schools, within our congregations, within our families. In short, it appears we have entered an age of deception. How can we know what is true? How can we protect ourselves from the covert and deadly insertion of vitriolic anti-Semitism tunneling into our lives under the cover of apparently earnest admonitions of highest morality or humor or entertainment? To address these questions, we are very fortunate to have landed an interview with an Israeli heavyweight, Dr. Gil Troy. Among his many hats, Gil is a distinguished scholar, a senior fellow at a global think tank called the Jerusalem People Policy Institute. He's a regular contributor to the Jerusalem Post and the author of no less than 16 books, including Why I Am a Zionist and To Resist the Academic Intifada, Letters to My Students on Defending the Zionist Dream. Gil might also be the most engaging scholar you will ever meet. This is a conversation you don't want to miss. In fact, as I think you will see for yourself, it's a dialogue you'll want to widely share. Join me then as we meet up with Dr. Gil Troy. If you're not yet a subscriber to endtimes.com and would like to see the rest of this important report and others like it, I urge you to subscribe right now at the website endtimes.com. For only $7 a month, you'll receive a wealth of information and insight from Jimmy Evans, Mark Hitchcock, and experts from around the world, including Israelis living right here in the Jewish state. Do yourself a favor. Sign up today.